restful night. I had originally planned to get up like super early today and go and do kyde stuffs, and then I decided Eric's sick, let's just chill, get as much sleep as we can, and take the day as it goes. So we're up, it's around like 9, it's 10 o'clock now, 10 o'clock. And we have come to the same area that we ate dinner last night. It's like this long strip where there's a whole bunch of shops. And off the road a little bit is a market that you can see behind me. It's not bustling now because it's 10 o'clock in the morning, but they sell fish here and lots of random things. And the only reason I'm here is because I saw the world's brightest blue fish and I want to see it in person, because when I saw it in the picture I was like, that's not real, so I'm gonna see that it's real. So that's why we're here, and we're also looking for breakfast. Might be that blue fish. Eric just found out that the bluefish is gonna be dead, and he was really sad. I'm sorry everyone, this fish will be dead. We found him, and he's really weirdly blue. Stuff isn't blue, right? I mean the sky, but like other stuff is not blue. But he's blue. Look at his face, man. It's like a tribal warrior. This is a kyde fact and probably a story that Eric doesn't know at all. Oh my god, that's terrifying and tarantula-like. When I was little, we used to go to the grocery store, Giant, in Virginia, and they had lobsters that they sold, and the lobsters were alive in the cage. And I don't know how my mom figured this out. Maybe somebody just told her, like, oh, bring your kid over here. So they brought me over, and they asked me, one of the things just squirted me over there. They asked me, do you want to pet the lobsters? And I was like, okay, let's pet the lobsters. And this became a grocery ritual. Every time we went past the lobsters, I would ask them to take one of the lobsters out and I would pet it. I don't know if that's, I assumed all the kids were doing this, but now that I'm going past these lobsters, I'm like, no one was doing that when they were little. And that's apparently something that I do. I pet lobsters. It's not hard to find food in markets. As long as you're willing to look at this and go, oh my god, that's gonna be really, really good. Does it look good? Because it looks really good. This is a fish cake that is cooked with nori. They had other options, like ones with vegetables, like carrots and gobo. And this one, I've never had one with nori, so I wanted to try it. Just your standard fish cake. Gelatinous and weird and wonderful, and I'm not really sure how they cook the outside. It might be deep fried, I could be wrong. I'm not sure how they get the golden glow, okay? But it's delicious. The nori is really, it's not overwhelming or anything like that. Very tasty. And the lady, like, I walked up to the place and I saw this and I was like, okay, I can eat that, that's breakfast, let's go for it. So I went over there and I was asking them like how much it was, and they gave me a sample, which, you know me, I'm gonna eat that, this is gonna be great. And then I realized I could feel the warmth of these coming off of them. So I was like, I'm definitely getting that. It's warm, it's not cold, it's just gonna be good. And to wash it down, we've gotten kyde lemonade-esque type thing. This is a small green citrus that we've had it before in other places, but they grow it here in Okinawa and they make lemonade out of it. Or shikwasanade. Shikwasanade is what we are eating or drinking. And I don't know if it's going to be bitter or sweet, or I have really no idea about this citrus.
I have a theory that it's the same thing that they give you at restaurants in the Philippines. That little tiny green guy.
It is.
I can't remember the Filipino word for it.
It's not sweet and it's not bitter.
What?
It's like in the middle.
Is it sour?
It's closer to lime than it is to lemon.
Yeah, that's what I expected.
I like it. It's pretty good.
Did he put any sugar in there or anything, do you think? Or is
I think there's sugar has been added, but it's not overly whelming sugar. Yeah.
Overly whelmingly? Can you say that? Is that a word? I'm having trouble with English lately.
We both are. This is habushu, And this is probably the only reason that I'm upset that I'm driving. I keep seeing this and I want to try this. This looks scary beyond all reason. Let's enjoy it. And I can't because there's zero tolerance for driving. And Eric would never even let me slip on that, so yeah. I gotta either buy this $700 bucket and take it to the hotel and really just kill myself, or just refrain. It's hard.
This morning for breakfast, we had intended to go to a place that our Japanese guidebook recommended that sells a special type of Okinawan onigiri, and onigiri is like rice ball. And we went there, and the lady was like, "The wait is like 2 hours." And we were like, "Oh man," because it's a really long time for a rice ball. So we just went on, and maybe we'll try to get it another time in the future because it's like the place to go. But as we were walking around in these like little market area, I found a little stand that had those little rice balls. So what makes this Okinawan, I believe, is that it has Spam on the inside. And like I said, Spam is like an Okinawan thing, and I'm not really sure why.
I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah,
just watching you try to figure out how we're gonna do this.
I found the edge. So you can see the Spam, and I'm guessing this is egg. And I can smell the ume, which is like a Japanese sour plum. And that's what the flavor I ordered. You can get lots of different flavors, so I just got that because I really enjoy ume. And yeah, let's see.
And they make a little sandwich.
Yeah, it's like a little sandwich onigiri kind of mixture. Like it's like an American onigiri or something with the sour plum that I think most Americans would probably not enjoy. That salty from the Spam and the sour from the ume, like mixed together, is a pretty exciting flavor. That's fun. Yeah, I would have these all the time if they were like right down the street from me. Like it's a good snack. It was like 150 yen, so like $1.30 or something like that. I hope we get to try the place with the place. Because they had a lot of really, really interesting types of flavors and stuff and a lot of different things that they were doing. So that would be fun to do. Hopefully we'll get to nail that guy down. Look at this map. This is amazing. I have a thing for maps. I just like them in general. But this one really stuck out as we were walking past it. I like how they've actually like put like clouds and stuff on it. Like it's just, you don't usually see that on maps. I like how the border of it is outlined with more clouds and just the whole thing. This is very cool. I'd love to have this on my wall or something. So we've come to some place, I don't even know where we are. Katie might have kind of an idea, but it's like the ancient peoples that used to live in the Okinawan area, like they had a kingdom, and this is somehow a part of that, and hopefully I'll be able to explain more in the future.
Shurijo Castle.
Shurijo Castle, okay.
I read that off the map.
Shurijo, okay, so Shurijo Castle, Shurijo. All right, so we're there. And they have like a little area where you can buy snacks, of course, because tourists. And we decided we were going to get some ice cream. And what we've got is chinsuko ice, and it is chinsuko is like an Okinawan cookie or biscuit that I don't believe I've ever had before, but I'm assuming it's going to be in here. And yeah, you can see there are little bits of it in there, little like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And normally it just looks like a little finger almost with like cuts on the edges, like how do you say, like little jagged edges, and it looks like a finger, just like a little finger biscuit. I don't know if it's like a butter biscuit or what the flavor is. What's the flavor of the biscuit?
Yeah, I think you're right about that buttery flavor. That was a pretty good guess. Of course, it's kind of hard to tell because like there's way more ice cream than biscuit here, but that is the idea. I think it's a little bit like a butter cookie. The ice cream, I mean, how could it be bad, you know?
And they sell this type of ice cream. It's Meiji ice cream, and we have tons of different flavors in Tokyo. But I'd never see them. Buttery. Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah, like Japan is really famous for lots of different regions have, like, you can only get this specific type of flavor here. So I think this, in this case, is probably not available outside of the area, but I don't know. I've never seen it before. It's good.
Is that what I was supposed to do? We've come to Tamaudun, and it's not a temple, it's not a shrine.
It's a tomb, dude.
It's a tomb. The reason that I decided to come here is because the pictures have this washed-looking stone, not white stone, but like stone that like you can tell where the water has gone, and it really reminded me of Angkor Wat. And all of the trees around here, even more so, are reminding me of Angkor Wat, like this nature and ancient buildings and things like that melding together. There's not going to be trees growing into this thing, but regardless, it still kind of doesn't feel like Okinawa. It feels like we're going somewhere over in Southeast Asia, and I think that feels really good. So far, the nature has been quite beautiful. We haven't seen the building yet, but we've read that it is a tomb. I didn't know that it was a tomb before, that this tomb housed some of the
Well, they were ancient dudes.
Yeah, they'd be ancient dudes. Some of the Shou dynasty royalty and their family. I don't know if we're going to get to go inside. I saw pictures of the inside, but I don't know if we're going to get to go inside. But we'll get to see the outside, which is what made me think of my past adventures in Cambodia. I fully expected there to be people here. There is not one other person. Oh, it's a tomb. There's not one other living person other than him here. I cannot believe that. 2 blocks over, there's a gigantic parking lot that we got sucked into, and it's completely full. They're having to park our car because we'd have to wait to park there. So there's thousands of people 2 blocks away at the castle, and none of them are coming to check this out. And honestly, I think that this is a very... It's got a Western, like when you go to to a Western.
You got an Alamo vibe?
This is an Alamo. It's like a Southeast Asian Alamo feel.
In Japan.
I'm really glad that no one's here, because it kind of feels like I can just say and maybe even do whatever I want to do.
You be careful, this is a tomb. Ooh, like
Never
some
mind.
ghosts haunting
I wasn't
you.
going to do anything completely terrible. Like a cartwheel, maybe. Gosh. This is the mausoleum, and the mausoleum consists of 3 rooms. The middle room is where they would wash bodies and prepare the bones for burial, and the bones are then placed into these amazing urns, like nothing I'd ever seen. I've seen urns for Americans, and honestly, they're quite boring, but these were elaborate. They almost look like tiny little temples, tiny little Chinese temples for the people, and I thought that they looked really incredible, and I picked my favorite. I don't know if that's rude, but I picked my favorite. Anyways, the mausoleum also has 2 rooms that come off to the sides. On the right-hand side in the east, you're going to find the queens and kings of the Shou dynasty, and to the west, in the left-hand room, you're going to find family members and other extended people that are related to the kings and queens. In the museum, they also had this diorama that showed the inside of the tombs, all the urns and the stuff that was inside, and it kind of got my hopes up that we would actually be going into the tombs, but it looks like we're stuck on the outside. Also on the premises, they have a building that shows the architecture of the time in the Shou dynasty. A wooden building with clay tiles on the top, which doesn't sound too foreign to what we're used to seeing, but the wood is a bit surprising.
Yeah, especially with like all the other stone stuff, but I guess we haven't seen that much of their architecture at all, but this looks to me like a Japanese house, like an old school Japanese house, without a doubt. It's just got like tatami floors and stuff, and a wooden porch that will wrap all the way around. And I guess the part about it that is a little bit unique is the clay tiles on the roof. But as you walk around here, you come to the interesting part to me, and that's there's a toilet, like a Japanese style toilet. But as you can see, you're not supposed to be using it. I was like thinking about it, but I think I'm gonna have to pass it on this one. I think that if I was ridiculously rich, I would build a house in this style and live in it. I think it would be kind of cool. I like a wraparound porch and then the tatami floors in the middle, and like how it's kind of breezy, and it feels really like that thought of your mind of like peaceful Japan. Like that's definitely going on in this little house.
That breezy feeling reminds me of going to my grandparents' house, and they had like a shed with all the tools in it, but the shed also had like a sitting area because like grandpas like to relax, and this is what that reminds me of. It's grandpa's shed. That's what it is.
During the Show Dynasty, I guess they also used American-style electrical outlets, because I haven't seen one of these things in quite a long time.
This tree's freaking me out. It's got hair.
You got hair? What's the deal? It's kind of the same color, to be honest with you. Let's do a comparison. Back up.
Nah, man, I don't like that tree.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, look.
Oh, wow, yeah. Ah,
yeah,
I don't
it's
think
the
we're
same.
supposed to be doing
It's basically the same.
Oh.
It's just a tree. It's not gonna like suck you in.
It might. The RRSSs.
The Russes?
Rodents of unusual size.
This is a tree. What are you talking about?
Around here, I can feel it. You watch that scene. Oh. Just gonna get some coffee. I'm jacked up. Before I show what I'm starting to feel like Okinawa looks like, think to yourself, what does Okinawa look like? Now, this is what it really looks like to me. This is the view that I've seen like 4 or 5 times now. Like when you go to a viewpoint, this is what you're looking at, is like these buildings upon buildings upon buildings upon buildings. And I honestly could stare at that forever because I'm fascinated with the fact that we did that. That's us. It's not nature, it's not animals, it's not anything else, it's us. And I find that fascinating. Sometimes I get stuck in it. Also, I kind of want to do a puzzle of this. Like this would be the world's hardest puzzle. Maybe not the world's hardest. The one of like the blue sky would just be terrible. But like 1,000-piece puzzle, we got this. It'd be great.
Look at this plant. Like that's some freaky stuff, man. Like if I touch it, is it gonna take my hand? Like this whole thing is gonna like clamp shut. It's got like these spikes here and like all this wicked like.
It's got. Did it eat a crab?
Yeah, what's going on?
It might have eaten a crab.
Scary, man. Wild.
Behind me is Shuri Castle, and we finally got a nice little peek looking at it, and we've been taking this lovely stroll throughout the grounds. They're quite expansive, and you only have to pay for this little bit here, which is surprising. So we've gotten to have this lovely stroll, and we're starting to get hungry, so we're not going to go inside, but it's been a really relaxing time here at the grounds, just walking around, and now we finally get to see the guy, and yeah, let's get some food. A few things. First, when we parked in the parking deck to come to this very touristy area, they took our keys and put them in the car and they valet parked for us. That basically means that every car in this garage is unlocked. Every one of them. Anywho, this bug has been on me, like just hanging out. He's 3Z for right now. For at least an hour and maybe an hour and some change now. We're gonna see how long it stays.
Be careful with that seatbelt.
Oh, 3Z. Oh man, no seatbelt. The last like half an hour has been a bit crazy, so we said we were gonna go eat, and we were definitely gonna go eat. We needed to walk from the castle down to our car and get our car, and we found our car and get in the car and gotta make sure that 3D doesn't get hurt by the seatbelt and everything's okay with 3Z.
He was on you just a minute ago. I don't see him at the moment, but maybe he's in the back.
Somewhere around here. He hasn't left. And we get in the car and we go to this amazing little place that we wanted to eat. It has like a beautiful little house that you go into, and you're gonna eat a large meal with many different pieces. And it's kind of like an Okinawan thing. So I was like, oh, that's awesome, we're gonna get to do that. And we got there, sold out. So a little heartbroken, but I quickly grabbed our book and was like, all right, we'll find something close by, and I worked on finding something close by, but I made a big mistake. We got into the car, and when you look at Japanese printing, sometimes it can be a bit crazy. In our book, I wanted to go to this location. In the GPS, I accidentally typed in this telephone number, which brought us to this location.
Surprise!
So we didn't end up coming to the restaurant that I wanted to. That restaurant would have been closer, and it had a more appealing photo, but this place has food, is open, and smells amazing. It's just very porky in here. It's real porky. And we're gonna get our food, and this will be our first time to have Okinawan soba, so I'm not going to be upset about that in the least. I'm sitting here, someone's gonna bring me a big bowl of soup, and I'll be happy. Okinawa soba has showed up, and it basically consists of noodles, which we're not really sure whether they're udon or if they're soba. They look more like udon, but they say soba. We're quite confused about the noodle to begin with. On the top, we've got pork, some fish balls that have been sliced, and scallions. I added beni shoga because I'm quite excited about that. And I got the teishoku, which comes with rice, and some little bits on the side. I'm gonna try these noodles to see if I can determine whether they are soba or udon or unknown noodle. But I'm not really understanding the chopsticks. There are red chopsticks and there are pull apart chopsticks. What am I supposed to do here?
Go with the red ones. Our neighbors are using red ones. I think you're all good.
Okay, yes. He is right. Everyone is using the red ones, so I'm gonna go with that. Soba.
Really?
Yep.
But it's white.
It's just thicker. Buckwheat is definitely the base. I never thought I would know. Like I could go, yep, that's buckwheat.
I hope you're right.
or I'm real stupid. I'm gonna lay down my life on that one. Yeah.
Is the broth fishy?
That's a good question. Oh.
Have a spoon. Just use a spoon.
Nope. Porky.
Yeah. Would you feel like you have more of a ramen vibe going on here than you do a soba vibe? Like considering.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
when you
yeah.
think about...
Definitely more of just an udon kind of feeling, whereas like warm noodles and. I don't feel like soba is a comforting meal. I feel like soba is kind of an exciting meal because I end up eating it cold and put wasabi in it, and this kind of makes it like a comfort food. And that's how I feel about the soup.
I got a donburi because I was actually a little worried that the soup was going to have like a fishy flavor to it, and I'm just not really in the mood for that experiment at the moment. So what I ended up getting was, it's like a bunch of toppings and stuff on top of rice, which is a dish that I love anyways. And it has a bunch of meat, and so far, the meat that I've eaten in Okinawa has been amazing, so I thought, like, how can you lose? Yeah, just like all the other meat. It's really succulent, like it's been like stewed or something for like a really, really long time. It's really good. And we got some mushrooms, which sometimes can be a little scary, usually just because of the texture. They're okay, but the meat is really good. And then I have a whole bunch of rice, and I haven't had rice lately, so I'm kind of excited about having that. There was also an egg on the top, and it broke, and you can just kind of mix it in, and it'll thicken everything up a little bit. And on the side, I also have a little bit of the soba, and then the same weird little fixins that I'm not sure what are. Like this is seaweed maybe? Like really like...
Oh god.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, like really stringy kind of.
It looks like that tree from earlier.
It does. I'm going to hate this, I promise. It's sour. I did not think sour was going to happen.
How did that change your feelings on it?
The flavor is fun. I don't really like the texture. The texture is pretty hard to get down on. And when I ate it, it like slapped me under my chin, so that was no good either.
Eric has tasted the noodles, and he thinks that they are udon. And this is kind of the good thing about not having the internet. You can have just a healthy, well, I think this and you think that. We'll find out later.
See the smile? This is the smile of rightness. I asked actually what the noodles were made out of, and she said that Japanese soba is made of buckwheat, and the soba in Okinawa that they call Okinawan soba is made out of, I guess, komugi is wheat, I guess, is regular wheat. So and I think that's the same thing that they make udon noodles out of. So bladao, udon style. So soba here is udon, but thin. Strange.
It also feels a bit more compacted, like udon, it has a fluffiness to it in a way, whereas this, it's almost like the same amount of noodle, they just compressed it somehow. Really good. But I wanted to point out that this place actually looks quite amazing. The roof is exposed from the inside, so you can see all of like the clay from underneath, and I've never seen the clay from underneath. And the chandeliers add a very like an oddity to the whole experience, and a bit of glamour. So through all of the mistakes and whatnot, at least we landed at a place that I feel like I can go, yeah, that was some pretty darn traditional Okinawa soba. So I'm happy to have had that, and we're heading on our way to another interesting thing as long as I can put stuff in the GPS properly. From what I know, this is not a temple of note. I haven't seen it in a book. We just walked by it. Could it be any more picturesque? I don't really think so, unless like you airbrushed out everything behind it. But like the grass, to the sidewalk, to the beautiful red, to the just so. It's perfect.
I'm just happy to see grass.
Yeah, I touched it.
It's not a common thing to see in Tokyo.
We're at Fukushuen, which I kind of thought was just going to be a tower that looked like a tower, but apparently it's lots of waterfalls. Like there's so much water noise in here. Yeah. Where did this come from?
You can feed your buddy.
These poor turtles, they can't get any food. Fish are fast.
The thing about turtles is they're slow.
It is, they are
That's
slow.
their thing.
Yeah.
They're like the sloths of the water.
You got it, 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 you got it. Yeah. But if you didn't run so fast, man. Here we go, here we go, here we go. No, dude.
Do it like this.
Oh no. Wow. I got a mild fear of birds. Mild. Here we go. It's like, gotta do Lamaze breaths for the bird, but he felt kind of nice. Come on. You gotta fly out there.
He just drools?
Yeah, I guess he just drooled.
Inside of this little garden there is these two quite tall towers that look very similar to things that we saw when we were in both China and Taiwan. So I wonder how much the architecture has been influenced by those cultures more directly than in mainland Japan. But right now we're in one of the towers, which is really cool. And you can see like the upness. I know this perspective is pretty weird, but I just thought it looked cool. But that hole there, that's actually the top. And let's see if I can, there we go. Now you can see the door where we came in. Does that make any sense at all? What do you think? Was that disorienting?
That was fun.
Back to the weird perspective? Wait, no, you gotta be like that there. Your head's in the way, dude. All right, perfect.
There's that one in there. 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 Yeah. They need to replace those.
This little garden is amazing. I mentioned earlier that like it kind of had like a Chinese feel and stuff, and we were seeing kind of like hints of that in different places in the historic parts of Okinawan culture. And it really does feel like Okinawan culture really retained a lot more of that Chinese like atmosphere than other parts of Japan have. It feels like a crosshair between Taiwan and Japan, which makes sense because it like falls basically directly between the main part of Japan and Taiwan. And it feels like just the architecture and stuff, the older buildings and stuff really does hold to that. The modern stuff feels way more Japanese, but like this little garden that we're in, it feels really like a Chinese garden with little splashes of Japanese in it. It's a really cool, like, not contrast, but like, you know, mix of the two pieces. And there's lots of like statues and stuff here, and these beautiful like waterfalls and little ponds that are full of all these turtles and fish, and like it's really tranquil and nice in here, and all the water flowing is super nice. And then we popped around the corner and we saw this thing. And this thing looks amazing. It looks like an adventure. There's like caves and stuff, and it makes me feel like I'm on that awesome little island at Disneyland. What's it called? Tom Sawyer's Island or whatever. Like I just want to go explore. So it's gonna be a thing we're gonna do. Look at this. This is amazing. Look at this little staircase. It's like all rocks and stuff. This is like amazing. I don't know if I'm supposed to do this. Like, is this safe? Is this okay? I'm gonna give it a try. And if I fall, it's gonna be awesome because I'm gonna get everything all wet and I've got all this expensive gear in my bag, so let's give it a go. The place was amazing. I said it was like tranquil kind of and like peaceful, but at the same time it was kind of adventurous. There was like caves to climb around inside of, and like these crazy staircases and waterfalls to walk across. Like it felt like kind of an adventure park mixed with, you know, peaceful serenity.
We found ourselves a little cove to just relax, lay down, watch the sunset, and see the water again. We were just about to leave, and then the sun popped out, and then this plane started coming by, and awesome.
Everything's turning up, Katie.
Sand on the ground and temples in the sky. That's probably where they should be.
Another one of Okinawa's kind of like regional dishes is something called taco rice. And this is sort of like drifted out into the rest of Japan. Like you can find it in other places. And I don't recall ever seeing it branded as an Okinawan thing. But down here it does seem to be like somewhat of a more popular dish than what I'm used to seeing in Tokyo. So what it is it's kind of like taco, not like taco like octopus, like a Japanese taco, but more like taco from Mexico, like that style of food, and then they put it on top of Japanese rice. I just heard a firework go off. It was really distracting. So we've gone and we've got that, and you can see you can probably notice we're sitting in the car. And the reason that we're sitting in the car is because at the restaurant and the area around the restaurant, which is the place that we went last night and got the donuts, I believe. That's what we had, yeah? We had donuts there, yeah. We had the Okinawan donuts. So we went to the same place, and tonight there's like this really loud music playing out of all these speakers everywhere. And if we shoot this video there, YouTube is going to hear that music and then flag it, and then the video won't be available in certain countries, or we'll get strikes on our account and blah, 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 blah. Nobody wants to hear about this, but it's something we have to deal with all the time. So we've opted to just shoot in the car. And we've got kind of a ghetto light situation going on here so that everybody will be able to see everything, and hopefully that's an ideal situation. So this is the taco rice, and I got an omelet taco rice. So I've never had one like this before where they've taken an egg and put an egg on top, and I believe this is going to be mayonnaise and ketchup. That's a guess based on its appearance more than anything. Oh, by the way,
now we're in a plane.
Yeah, by the way, the airport's above us, or next to us, so the airplane's flying by. You can probably hear this. This has been a bit of an adventure. So, the omelet, underneath the omelet, has got like taco rice, like taco meat, and vegetables, and then as you can see, it has Japanese rice at the very bottom.
I was recently told by a Swedish girl that this is a Mexican haystack.
A Mexican haystack?
Something like that, yeah.
In Sweden.
That's what she described it to me, and a Mexican haystack.
So you can get a lot of different varieties of this, and I went with one that was the jalapeno garlic variety. So I'm gonna put these jalapenos onto the dish, and I'm all in on jalapenos. So I am going to just put all of the jalapenos in, and I am not all in on garlic. So I am just going to put some of the garlic in.
Can I get some garlic?
You can have some garlic, yeah. Ooh, that was more garlic than I wanted, honestly. And then they also gave me like a little habanero packet, and I'm all in on the habanero packet. This is like, oh, it's not the green stuff like I thought it was going to be.
It should be.
No, it's red.
Weird.
Anyway.
Oh, it does say red. It also says hot.
So, yeah. I love Japanese food, and I love Mexican food. So, like, I mean, this is like where it meets, you know? The meat is so good. I love, like, Mexican-style taco meat. Oh, God, I miss Taco Bell sometimes. I know the Taco Bell in Tokyo. We never go there because it's kind of expensive. Katie can make some pretty good taco meat at home, too. So, what's interesting about this is when you eat this type of, like, food from a Mexican standpoint, you're expecting a crunch, or, like, I guess I'm thinking like a hard taco. Like, that crunch is not there at all, and it's replaced by kind of the softness of the rice, which is not bad, but maybe I would prefer to have a little bit of crunch or a tortilla. It's a decent compromise because it's really hard to get tortillas here. Yeah, this is good. Maybe I'll try to find a place at taco. There's got to be a taco rice place in Tokyo. I know I've seen them. I think I'll try to find one and maybe try to frequent it a little bit more. Jalapenos, so good. It is about 7 a.m. now, and we are on the road. We have spent the last 2 days in the Naha area. So that is on the southern part of the island, and it is also where the international airport is. And we stayed around in that area because that's where our Airbnb ended up being. And we were able to go out and see a little bit of like outside of the city stuff on the first day that we were here. When we were going around, we went to the beach and all that stuff. And then there's a lot of restaurants and stuff in the Naha area and all those temples and everything that we went to yesterday. And that was a cool introduction to the area. But we do like really want to see things that are outside of that area. So we are on the road headed north for about 2 hours today. And the goal right now is to get onto an island that requires a ferry. And there's a lot of unknowns about that. Like, we don't know, like, is there going to be a line for the ferry, or like how long does it take like to get across? Do you know how long it takes to get across?
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay, so there's one less unknown than I had thought. So that's where we're headed. And as we're cruising out of Naha, I was noticing that Naha itself is kind of similar to a lot of cities in Japan, and maybe this is like a worldwide thing too, where the city itself has got its own personality, but once you get out into the suburbs, it starts to feel like a copy-paste, copy-paste, copy-paste. Like, it looks like every other part of Japan I've ever been to, like the suburban areas. And I mean, America is kind of the same way. You know, if you live in America and you go to the suburbs, you know about that strip mall with like, what's in the strip mall? There's a Best Buy.
Oh, there's a Bed Bath & Beyond. There's a Bed Bath & Beyond for
there's
sure.
There's a Bed Bath & Beyond, there's a Best Buy, there's like a Ruby Tuesdays or whatever.
A Ruby Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And a laundromat.
Yeah.
Bam!
Yeah, it's like, they're all like right next to each other. So, Japan kind of has their own versions of that with like this thing right here, like this is called a nitori. It's like an IKEA, Japanese IKEA. So that's like one of those things. We went by a Yamada Denki, which is like a Best Buy basically.
Yamada Denki.
There's all these places that are like, you know, that exact copy paste. And even when you're in like developing countries, you see the same type of shack like over and over and over selling like, you know, snack shack stuff. Like, so maybe this is a worldwide phenomenon that the cities themselves have a unique heart, but suburban areas sort of don't. And that's what we're seeing. Like, we may as well be outside of Tokyo right now. It's exactly what it looks like.
We've driven for about 2 hours to the port of Motobu, and we are now on a big ship. Awesome. You should put a boat in every single adventure you go on. And the big ship is going to take us to Iejima, which is an island that has a big towering rock and some lilies and maybe a beach that it's a bit too brisk to swim in. Just getting on this boat is an adventure, but the people on the boat are an additional adventure because apparently no one has ever seen anyone as tall as Eric in this vicinity. Like, girls are stopping, like, dead in their tracks. Old ladies are just pausing and, like, really not believing it. Old men are stopping me at the bathroom to tell me either how tall I am or how tall he is, but they won't specify. Even though I'm talking to them in Japanese, they're blown away. Blown away. So that's been interesting. Tokyo, Eric doesn't even exist. Here, spectacle.
Attention please, all passengers on board.
This is like one of the nicest ferries I've ever been on. Like, these nice big seats. It's huge. Like, this boat is like really big. But the one problem I'm having here is it's not quite 2 meters here because I'm pushing the ceiling up with my head.
Don't hurt the boat. We heard how much you like islands, so we put an island out there to come from this island, which you left the island that you live on. There's a lot of islands. Yeah. Yo, dog. Lilies. Apparently, I didn't know until yesterday that this island is known for kind of having a lily festival. It's like a Lilith Fair type thing that we've got going on here, a lot of beautifulness. They are gorgeous.
It smells better though.
It smells really, really good. Eric's always telling me about how Hawaii smells really great, and I don't have this knowledge or this experience. So this is somewhat close to it, I'm guessing. It smells really, really tropical and good. And with the good taste, or with the good smell, we need a good taste. And we found out that Ie Island, or Iejima, which we're on right now, has its own soda brand. So why not try it? We're not really sure what the black cane is. We're just gonna jump into it.
I like that logo.
Yeah, the logo.
So
one of them had a dragon on it at the front.
The logo is, the island is shaped like that. It's really unique. Like, it's got this like mountain nub in the middle.
Nipple.
It's got a nipple in the middle, and they've used that for the logo. I think that's really cool.
My hand's really wet, so we're gonna see if I can actually do this. I'm the strongest person in the world.
I got that one because it was the scariest. There's like a pink one and like a white one, but that one looks scary.
The smell is really good.
She said it was sweet.
It's definitely sweet, and I kind of expected like root beer kind of smell, but it doesn't smell like that. It smells like A1 sauce. That's what it smells like.
That's not a normal smell for a soda.
Dude, that's a good smell. Tastes a bit like A1 sauce. I'm not even joking.
Is it carbonated?
It's carbonated A1 sauce. And I just love A1 sauce. I put A1 sauce on everything. And I will tell you right now, A1 sauce on broccoli, that is the best. So we need broccoli. And then this will be okay.
Put it on Lily, get down on it.
Come on, Lily. Did everyone know that there's lots and lots of lilies out there? Like, I thought there was like one lily, maybe like a lesser lily somewhere, but there's like, it's got to be hundreds of different kinds of lilies here. We're gonna play new favorite. Like every time you see one that you thought was better than the last one, new favorite. That's a good game.
What's your current favorite?
Current favorite's this one.
I mean, it's nice, but I think you're gonna...
It's like a firework and a flower, but this one is like the scariest lily I've ever seen in my life. That, if you touch that, you will die. You give that to someone, you give it to someone you want to die. I don't have anyone in my life right now. In the future.
Oh, no.
Maybe you. New favorite. It is gigantic. That was the first thing that caught my eye, but you give it a sniff, it's got that great smell. The other ones on the other side don't really have an explosive smell. Like this one, you can smell it standing in the street. It is amazing, so new favorite.
I like this one. I like the color. I like how it's dark kind of, and then they're kind of contrasting colors yet still complementing each other, and it's like they're not gradiented into each other, but they kind of are. I don't know. And I like the speckles.
Is it smelly?
Does it smell? I don't know. No smell.
And what's the phrase?
What?
What's the phrase you gotta use?
New favorite?
New favorite. You look like you're voguing back there. Smell is pretty much the dominant thing for me when it comes to flowers. If flowers don't smell, yeah, they're pretty, but like some ladies are pretty and they don't smell good, so like, you know, that's a great lady, but if she smelled good, like, I'm gonna start this over. Where am I going?
You're good, dude. You're good.
All right, well, we'll just keep going, should we?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, well, these don't smell, is what I was gonna say. These flowers don't smell, so they're just honorable mention. Yeah, definitely not new favorite, just honorable mention, because they're explosive. Maybe only old people that were into video games are gonna understand this, but intruder alert, intruder alert. Ask me what you just asked me.
I'm thinking about what I said. Is this a pine tree?
What kind of dog is that? Yes, it is a pine tree.
No, what's the word I'm looking for?
I'm not gonna give it to you. Oh God.
Palm tree.
Yes.
Is it a palm tree?
I think so.
It's weird and nubby and short and spiky. And look at his wicked hair. Look at this. Are we sure? I don't know what the top of a...
It's really Christmassy.
It's like fluffy and spiky and weird, and this, like, the landscape is really strange. Very cool feeling. These big rocks. I like it.
Alright, so one of my things I like to do is I like to put my hitchhiking thumb out where Eric can't see it and hope that somebody comes and picks us up. And this is the first time it's worked. And we're riding from the lilies to the nipple. We're going to the nipple, which is the gigantic rock in the middle of the island. And we're in the back of someone's truck with dry ice. It doesn't make any sense. that guy was moving karepan and takoyaki and donuts and people, and he dropped us off here at the little nipple of the mountain, and we just found out you can climb it. So we're gonna climb it, but after a bathroom break. Whoa. See that jet? Were you capturing Slowbot?
We're up here. We're on top of the rock hard nipple now, like the one in the middle of the island. That's really cool because when we were coming in, I was looking at the island through some binoculars and I was like, it looked really craggy and just like rocks. And I was like, there's no way we're gonna be able to climb up on this thing. Like, it's gonna be impossible. And so I figured we'd just get to the base of it and look up at it and be like, okay, that's really cool. But we got to it after we hitchhiked our way to the base of this little rock, and I saw that there were people on top of it, and I was like, okay, maybe they're like mountain climbers or something. And then I noticed there were stairs, and I was like, okay, maybe they just stair climbers. I talked to some little kids at the base, and I was like, is it difficult to go up there? And the kid was just like, no, it's really easy. There's stairs the whole way. And they said, you should do it though, because it's really beautiful from up top. And they're right, because it's quite amazing up here. And this island, when you're not on top of this, it's not big, but it feels like it's gonna take a while to walk across it, which is why we hitchhiked. But when you stand up on top of it, it looks tiny up here. Like, you can see every corner of the island, like with no trouble at all. Like, it's all visible. And it's beautiful. It's really, really, I've never seen an island with like a peak that's this small, that's like poking out the top. And you can see where we came from. Actually, there's a bridge over here, and you can see the when we were on the ferry, we went underneath this bridge, and I just recalled like, oh, I wonder if I'll be able to see that when we get to the island, and you totally can. Very cool. And I have a surprise. But pineapples.
Ooh.
I don't know if these are for Katie or for me. Do you like pineapples?
Who does? What? People don't like pineapple?
Well, I mean the dried pineapple.
This is. Wait. All forms of pineapple are the best.
Oh, they're really, really hard. I bit into it and it crumbled. Like.
They're old?
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be like that. I didn't expect that. It's really sugary. Interesting. Okinawan style pineapples.
Update on the pineapple. This is just sugar. Blocks of sugar that have been flavored like pineapple. I got no complaints about that. I'm just updating everyone. We talk a lot about value for money, like just as people who buy stuff, and all people who buy stuff. But value for hike, Mount Gusuku has lots of places beat. It took like 5 minutes to get up there. Granted, I was huffing and puffing once I got up there, but the view is just spectacular, and it was a surprise that we could go up to the top of it anyways, and it was just incredible. That was one of my favorite hikes, and it was like a split second.
We found a little beach that has nobody on it, but it also has no place to change, unless you count this little cave. And this is where I think I'm going to be getting into my swimsuit.
Alright, so we changed in a cave, and now we're gonna go for a dip. El Camino to the max. Andre?
3,000? Did I do it right?
3,000?
3,000? My grand no foot on water. Which is why Andre had to stay behind while we took the ferry across to the little island. But we're back. We're back in Andre. And
3,000.
3,000? Yeah. And it's only 1:30 now, which seems insane because I feel like I've been like doing. We went to this. We went all the way across this island. We saw these flowers. We hitchhiked. We climbed a mountain. We went swimming. We walked back to the boat. We rode the boat back. It's been a really active day, and we're 2 hours away from where we started this morning. Anyway, so we are back in the car, and we're gonna head off to find some food, hopefully, because I'm getting a bit on the hungry side.
But that island was amazing. That's what I feel like Okinawa is, and it is. And once you get out of Naha, I knew that, once you get out of Naha, it's going to be really cool. So I just want to say that it so far is living up to the cred in my mind.
And kind of like how I felt about Naha, I didn't know what to expect when we came down here, but that was a very, very cool little adventure. I would recommend hitting that island up if you are feeling saucy and in the area. I grabbed this because I saw a whole bunch of people drinking it, and I've seen it all over the place, and it's called Sanpin, I guess Hanacha? I don't know how they would pronounce the Hana part, maybe Hanacha, but it means flower tea. And the Sanpin, I believe this means jasmine. And jasmine tea in my mind, as a person who lives in Japan, is something that's kind of like India, that's how they sort of market it usually. So I was surprised to see that it's an Okinawan thing, and it actually says it's from Okinawa. So I thought I'd give it a try. It looked popular. I don't typically think jasmine tea is very good. I think it's like drinking flowers, but maybe this is gonna be different. Smells like flowers. Tastes like flowers. It's not bad. It's a little chemically is what I feel like. I feel like it's flowery is a little too chemically for me, and I don't mind it a little bit, but this much, 525 milliliters is probably a bit much. I could use like one of those smaller bottles, like half the bottle, and probably be happier. There's just something about that flavor that is just, I don't know, it's like eating flowers. I feel like a goat.
In our guidebook, I saw a picture of two girls riding in a cart with a pineapple on top of it. And I was like, should just probably note that on the map, pineapple cart. And apparently we're in pineapple cart territory. So we've come to this place and we rode through some intricate little roads that they built to spit us out into a parking lot. And now we're waiting for a pineapple to come and pick us up. Like, there's a few pineapples, they'll come and get us. So we have to wait for the pineapples. The pineapple's here. Ready to go. So we came to this pineapple place. We think this is a pineapple winery. We're not really that sure. We have no idea what's going on here. I know I rode in a pineapple. That's all I know. But we've come inside of this area and it just has a jungle full of pineapples. The ones in the background, they look normal to me. But the ones here are looking a little bit radioactive, like this one. I don't trust that pineapple. I kind of want to try it though. Not only can you ride in the pineapple that we rode in, you can also ride in these automated pineapples here for an additional fee. I don't know why you'd ride in the ones that you can't drive.
You couldn't drive the other one.
But it was exciting.
It was free.
It was the initial pineapple, and once you have the initial pineapple, now I've got higher standards for my pineapple mobiles, and it must be I have to drive it. So I just can't.
You're gonna have to get Andre some
3,000
new gear.
Pineapples.
Yeah, pineapple gear.
Can we get them I bet you there's 3,000 pineapples here.
There probably
are. Just fill up the car, and it'll be a painful ride home, but it'll be okay. It's really cute. I like the little tops. It's cute.
I think we're stealing pineapple stuffs, because they were selling tickets, but we walked in to look at this map, what you could do in here before we bought a ticket, because, whatever. And then, nobody ever took a ticket, and we expected them, the ticket people are going to be there, and it never happened. And now we're wandering around, and it's kind of confusing, and nobody really cares. But
is the ticket for the cart, or
yeah, was it maybe the ticket was for the cart?
I don't know.
We don't know. I think we're stealing right now.
We're on Flower Street. That's all I know.
Look. We got a route sign here. We got a route sign here. And then we got a route sign here. I don't know I'm seriously lost. I'm baffled.
Pineapples are confused.
It's like a multi-level issue. This is worse than a Zelda dungeon. This is some water temple shit. This place is a maze.
A pineapple puzzle we in. We have literally gone in a circle and I don't know how we're getting out of here.
This is what it is. You don't pay for your ticket and then you die. Oh, thank God. We left the pineapple farm. Once we figured out, like, we found the exit, I had to ask, like, where do we go? And then when we had to go was the opposite direction of all the arrows that said where to go. So it was just like, what is happening in here? Weird place. So we walked next door to this complex, and the reason we came over here is because it said, like, Fruits Garden or something?
Fruitland.
Fruitland. And I like fruit, so came over here and I was like, okay, we're gonna see what's up, and it looks like you have to pay an admission as well. And well, I mean, you have to pay an admission. I mean, apparently that's not an optional thing. And it looks similar to the pineapple thing, and that was just confusing and weird. So we've decided to invest our time in getting some food. And at Fruitland, you can get this. And this is a kind of expensive pineapple. And I believe inside this pineapple is going to be fried rice. Got a little salad here. And then something a brewing. I don't have any idea what's a brewing there. First place we're going is this place. So let's see what's in here. Okay, so it's a pineapple with some meat inside. And it looks, ooh, it smells good too. This looks all right. It's like, really chewy, but it's like, what is that stuff we used to eat? Harabi or something like that? And it's like a Japanese sauce or something, and then underneath it looks like there's just fried rice, and I hope they put pineapple into it, because pineapple fried rice is pretty good, but it's not something I think I've ever had in Japan.
They put pineapple on it, that's for sure.
And they put it in the pineapple. And then we can also probably dig out a little bit of pineapple here. So that mystery is solved. We'll go ahead and put his hat back on. And let's see what we have brewing in here. I have no idea. It looks like maybe yogurt, but it looks warm.
I'm going mushroom soup.
It's warm, right? Yeah, it's pretty warm. This is a very strange place. She told us we could just have free drinks and stuff, and that's not normal. And we only ordered one meal instead of two, and I don't know, it's just weird. And it feels kind of like at Busch Gardens, the areas where you can go and you eat like German food, like in the Busch Gardens at Williamsburg. That's what it feels like in here.
So we've entered the pineapple section of Busch Gardens.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I have no guess what that is. Maybe bean? I have no idea. Katie's gonna have to tell us, because I thought it was gonna be sweet or something, pineapple-y, but like as far as I can tell, there's no fruit in there, no strawberries or nothing. I know fruit pretty well, and that's not no fruit I've ever had.
It's mushroom.
Is it? How'd you call that?
Because of the way it looks.
Smart. What kind of fruit is a mushroom?
What kind of fruit is that?
Explain what that means.
Okay, this all started
We got obsessed.
There was a picture of a capybara somewhere on Facebook, and someone that we do or don't know, I don't know, they typed onto it, what kind of dog is that? And it just said, what kind of dog is that, question mark. It didn't have all this context of the voice or anything, so now we've kind of just started associating that with anything that's just, when you start talking about something like mushroom soup and you're talking about fruit, what kind of fruit is that? Yeah, feels good.
Having completed this pineapple meal, I think I know why she gave us free drinks. Because she knows that the pineapple meal sucks. Like, I ate that first bite, I was like, it's a little chewy, it's okay, and then like as we got into it a little further in the rice and all that, this is not okay. This meal sucks.
I stuck with the soup. Back on the Big Island, and we're visiting one of the larger breweries that's here, and I just kind of did a Google search for brewery once, hold on, I'm saying it wrong, brewery. I did a Google search and I came up with Helios and Orion. And I know that Orion is really, really popular, so Helios kind of stood out to me, and it was really easy to make a reservation. So I was like, okay, let's go ahead and make a reservation. And then I started wondering, once we got here, what do they make? And we saw a little sign that says they make awamori, and awamori is a really good, I don't know. Got no idea.
It's like Nihonshu, but it's like their version of it. I'm not sure how it's different though.
Okay, so it's like Okinawan sake.
Sake.
Sake? Yeah, so it's sake, and I won't get to try any because I'm driving. But Eric, hopefully we'll get to try some. And we actually bought some the other day that's at home, and maybe I'll try a little bit of that tonight. I don't know. We'll see how it goes after the ride back home. But yeah, this place looks incredible. There's so much random stuff behind us that I don't know what any of these buildings are for or what's going on in them. And this looks like it was on fire yesterday, and it's kind of scary and maybe delicious?
At least dangerous.
Yeah. This is some serious stuff. Like, normally we see little jugs, but this jug is as tall as I am. They're into this stuff. They're into awamori. And also, I'm pretty sure that's sludge drunk.
So we got curious, like if there's like an official translation for awamori, which is the alcohol that they make here, and we looked it up, and there is, and the translation is strong Okinawan liquor. Like they didn't omit the word strong. What's this stuff called? Awamori. Am I wrong?
Are you already drunk? You don't know what it is?
So we had the tour, and there was a strict no camera policy, but I'll try to sum up as quickly as I can without making this too boring. This is basically like a sake that they make specifically in Kyushu, and it's made quite strong. It starts off at 80%, and then they burn off like basically half of it, so in the end it's 40%, and they ferment it in a oak barrel in the same style that they would do whiskey in the United States. They use like oak, white oak from the United States, and they put these big barrels, and they've got this huge warehouse full of barrels, as you can imagine. And then at the end of the tour, they give you a sample. And Katie's driving and I'm not, so I'm having some. And I'm not a alcohol expert, but this is quite smooth considering it's 40%. Like, it's not candy, but it's definitely drinkable.
They've got more booze for you over there. What do you have there?
I think he said this one is more of a whiskey than a sake. I'm not quite sure how they differ. Oh, the really interesting part about this is when they make this, usually when they make sake in Japan they use rice, and they use Japanese rice, but this stuff uses Thai rice, which is really surprising because Japanese people are proud of their rice. So it's kind of interesting to see a place that's kind of uppity saying, hey, we don't use Japanese rice, we use Thai rice because it makes it better. And he said that, he said that's what makes it smoother. And that it's definitely smoother than sake, and it's a higher percentage too, so that's kind of surprising. Okay, I think he said this is whiskey. I don't want to interrupt him. People are talking to him about buying things, so. Definitely harsher, and definitely tastes more like whiskey that I've had, which is very little bit, but I've had whiskey, and this is way more whiskey than this was Nihonshu for sure. That's not bad.
Zero tolerance rule. Not cool. But for the non-driving, oh no, I am the driving, I'm the non-drinking people. They took us into the scary building that seemed like it was on fire. When you walk in the door, you are immediately just hit with this smell of just pure alcohol. And I don't know if everybody gets like that shiver. Like when somebody hands you like a shot and you take a, people must sniff the shot too, I don't know. But I sniff the shot and then get the shiver. Ugh. And then you just go for it, but there's no going for it in there because it's just, there's nothing to drink. It's just alcohol and just the smell. And the coolest thing, the thing that I liked the most was sitting in there, you're just taking in this smell and enjoying this smell, and there's like this oak, you can smell this woody alcoholness, and they played us a video, so we kind of just got to relax and The video is up on the whitewashed wall of this brewery room, and it kind of just, I think they did a really good job. Even though they showed us a video, we got to like actually chill in the room and be in the room. And if you can get drunk from smelling, I'm pretty sure that this hippo is drunk.
It was like smell-o-vision.
Yeah. It was not taste-o-vision. That is faux show.
I tasted it.
Yeah, I heard that it was smooth.
It was smooth. Andre!
3,000!
We've come to a little place called Seaside Cafe, and it is named that way because if you look out the window, Seaside. No joking around. And we have these blinds down right now because we're a little bit on the red side. We were out in the sun a lot today and feeling a little burnt, so I don't really need that more in my life. We came here just based on a quick Google search, I guess Katie did, to just look for good restaurants.
I love you.
Yeah. And we've ended up getting some stuff that is claimed to be, ooh, I don't remember what the region was that they said. There's like an area in northern Okinawa with like a mountainous area. Yanboru is an area, and this food is made in that style. And what I have ordered is a jerk chicken, and it came out like on a hot plate. It was like really hot, you know, be careful type of stuff. And I don't know, I really like jerk chicken. It says it's spicy, and I know nothing about that area, but I thought I would give it a try. It's really, really hot right now.
While you chew that, people may be thinking that there is a bird that just made that noise. It is the chihuahua. I'm going to zoom in, show the bird chihuahua. It will bite your face off, seriously.
A lady went over there and put her nose down there, and I thought she was going to end up with a missing body part. Spicy, juicy, delicious. And it's got like kind of herbs on it and stuff. I wouldn't go as far as to say that it is a jerk chicken in the traditional sense of a jerk chicken, but it is a very good chicken. It's a little bit, like got a little bit of a curry powder on it, which I think is why they're calling it a jerk chicken. It also came with a couple of things on the side that are a little peculiar looking. We got some mushrooms here, and I'm guessing this is
beets?
No, dude, they can't be beets, right? Sweet potato.
I'm betting beet.
Purple potato, because beet would be bleeding a lot.
Beet.
Beet. You're right. It's
Called
just,
it. Hold on.
very...
This is the face of being right. Beets.
That's a really big surprise.
I want that other beet.
It doesn't. I don't. Is it a beet?
Give me the.
Tell me if you're right. I hope you're right. Just for the adventure.
Oh, that's a beet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's just not very soft. Usually I'm used to them being a little bit softer.
You're used to them being canned.
Yeah, I
pickled.
guess.
So
Yeah.
that's why they're soft. They've been sitting in.
And I've never thought about.
forever.
I've seen a beet before, and I never thought that's what it would be hard. Yeah, it's.
Oh. Haven't
And
had a beet in a long time.
I also got a drink that. Have you tried this yet?
Yeah, I tried it.
Yeah, this is a
Let me get
homemade.
off this.
The condensation.
You know what?
This is a homemade ginger ale, and there's actually pieces of ginger, like a big piece of ginger inside of it.
And it's spicy on the throat. It's really, really good. I feel like I want to try to make that at home for some reason, because I mean, like I can get ginger.
Yeah.
And
How do you get the ale?
how do you get the ale?
And then carbonate it.
How do
They're
you
just
carbonate
they're just putting soda water into it probably.
it? Yeah.
Anyway.
And sugar. It's really, really good.
You got
I got
a dish from the same region.
a dish from the same region, and it is a baked curry, which, wow, they don't really sell baked curry in many places. Usually you can just get curry on rice. Oh, there's rice underneath.
Yeah, it's
oh
a
my
curry
gosh.
rice, yeah.
I think this is an egg. We're about to find out.
Yeah, it said there was egg with it.
Oh my goodness. That's stunning. And tomato. Okay. Lots and lots and lots and lots of vegetables. I'm just gonna jump in. It's like a gratin meets curry. But it's not curry in like the sense of the cinnamony curry that I had a few days ago. It's more of a cream curry. Yeah. You can see a little bit of the brown flavor that would be curry-esque, but it is very made with cream. I don't really know how to say better than that. Green beans are one of my favorite things ever. Tabelogu, I love you. What kind of bird is that?
The other couple of beaches that we were at kind of had like sharp rocks, and like the sand was a little like you needed to use sandals to have a comfortable experience. But this sand is like fluffy. It's like the nicest sand I've ever put my feet in. And in the water, you just step into it and it kind of goes poof and envelops your foot. And it's like, oh, that's very nice. A little bit cold to swim in, but in the summertime, this would probably be a banging spot. It's like 11:08 now, and we're back at the Airbnb down in Naha, and today was amazing. It was really cool to get outside of the city and see how Okinawa is kind of like an island type of community, and like it really feels like, I don't know, like it's got that Hawaii vibe or whatever, things like that. And it was just cool to see that part of it and see some wilderness and go out to that little island, and it was just a very cool day. And if you remember, and you probably do because in this video after it's edited, it's probably like 2 minutes ago or whatever, we went to a brewery. A brewery is not the right word, but the place where they make sake.
Oh,
Brewery.
brewery.
Oh yeah, that's right. And I think you can tell my voice is a little screwed up, but brewery, I don't have that low note. And I tried some, but Katie couldn't try any. And coincidentally, a couple days ago, we had heard about this awamori drink, and we had bought some of it at a shop in Naha, not realizing that we were going to be going to a brewery and having it there. So we went into the shop, and it was amazing. It had like tons and tons and tons of different varieties to choose from, and it showed some of them in like clay pots and stuff, and some of them are made in clay pots, and some of them, like we talked about earlier, are made in these big wooden barrels. And at that time, we bought the stuff that was made in a clay pot, and this is what we bought. And it actually turns out that it was made in the little factory that we went to today. So it's made by the same company and everything, which is just a really strange coincidence, but maybe they make a huge percentage of it. I have no idea. So we're going to give this a go now. And break this open. Boom. Ooh. So it's Japan stuff. So they like get it nice and like the presentation is really nice and everything. And this is kind of a small bottle, and it was a little expensive, I think, for what we paid. I think we paid like, it was like $8 or $9 or something. I guess that's really not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I'm just being crazy. So I'm just gonna serve it room temperature because I don't know any better. That's how it was given to us earlier.
Oh, they said you're supposed to drink it cold because
yeah,
it is
right, 'cause it's
hot here.
Yeah, well, it's not cold.
Yeah, that's true.
So here is one, and here is another, and yours is spilling over.
I see that.
All right, how are we going to get this in this shot, and then we can both kanpai? We're on different sides of the table. What are we going to do now? It'll just be the computer.
Yep.
Here, I'll flip the screen around on the camera, and then maybe we can... There we go. Now we can see what's going on.
Oh, wow, we are really far away from each other.
Yeah, I know.
There's you, and there's me, and there's you, and there's... Oh, there we go.
There we go.
This is dangerous.
Are you just going to kick the whole thing back? Is that what you're doing?
No, I was going to sip it.
You're going to sip it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go.
It's been a long day. We don't need these
Yeah,
shots.
I'm pretty tired.
Come by.
Whoa. That has way more attack than the stuff they gave us earlier. Whoa, that's like jet fuel.
It really is. Holy crap.
It's not, it tastes better than like sake does to me, like normal sake. Maybe it's just my mind because it came in a nice package. I don't know. But
Jet fuel.
that's burning my throat.
Jet.
Is that stronger than like a tequila or something?
That was the shiver, by the way.
Do you feel like that's like a stronger than a tequila or anything like, you know?
It's
higher?
along the same lines.
Yeah.
That burn in my chest, going down to my stomach.
We got a lot to drink. You can see the spots on the sun.
That was creepy. If you've been enjoying our videos, feel free to go over to Patreon and get involved in our community. You can also go to any of our social media areas, you know, the Facebooks and the Twitters and everything that I don't understand very well. And also, feel free to leave some comments below. One of the major things we'd like to see in those comments, you have homework, is any questions that you guys might have, because this area of the video, we are trying to just answer questions and do interesting things with it, and we kind of feel like that starts with seeing what you want to hear or answering questions that you might have about whatever. It doesn't even have to be video related.
Yeah, it doesn't have to
be about It could be about anything.
It doesn't have to be about the current video or anything. Just...
Like, if you wanted to know if I have a fever right now, I do. I have a fever.
The reason to that is coming soon. We'll talk about that in a future video.
Yeah. Wow, I'm really hot.
You got a cliffhanger right there.
Yeah, a little bit of a cliffhanger. And I heard you had a question for me.
Actually, I had an observation. I feel like...
Is it that I'm sweaty?
My observation was I looked at us in the camera and we were just like laughing at each other like idiots at the beginning of this. And I realized that we're just like Beavis and Butthead.
Oh God.
And somehow we've just managed to just
And you get to be Beavis?
Yeah, you're a
Oh God, I'm a Butthead.
You're a Butthead.
Oh, this is stupid.
That's actually funny too. Okay, so I have a question. What do you guys think? Is Katie a Rick or a Morty?
Is this the question you thought of earlier?
No, it's not. It's just, we talk about it all the time, and I mean, like, you know.
You know, that is a really good question for people. How do people see me? Am I a Rick or a Morty?
You're a Rick or a Morty.
Snowball.
Snowball. Where are my testicles, Summer?
What's your real question?
So my real question is about the video that everybody would have just watched just now.
Okinawa.
The Okinawa Part 2 video. So, you said something in it, and I was just editing it a few minutes ago. It made me laugh really hard. We went someplace, and there was a car with a special thing on it. Do you remember what the car with the special thing on it was that we wanted to ride in?
We wanted to ride in a car with a special thing.
Yeah. So we went to the Nipple Island, and after the Nipple Island, we went to someplace.
Oh, the pineapple mobiles? Yeah.
Do you remember what happened there?
We broke the law?
Kind of, yeah, but okay, so we went in and then we got really lost, do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember what you described it as?
No.
You go, it's a pineapple puzzle in here!
It was a pineapple puzzle.
Oh, it made me laugh
We got lost. We couldn't really figure out what people were paying for. And it really, it really seemed like people were paying an extraordinary amount to go to Chuck E. Cheese with pineapples and all. There's no Chuck E. There was just
dancing
pineapples.
mice.
Yeah, it was.
It was a really weird experience.
It was like in Goofy Movie. I really like the movie Goofy Movie. I think that's lame of me, but I really like that movie. But there's this one part where they go to like this really hick part of the town or somewhere, and it's really hick, and they go in and they have all these animatronic things. Like, I guess maybe they're not animatronic. I don't know.
Cartoon Joe.
Yeah, it's a cartoon, but like That's what that. It's so yokel.
It was pretty
Total
yokel.
yokel.
It was like Japanese yokel.
Yeah.
That's a really weird combination.
Jokel. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my. I wrote down pineapple puzzle on a piece of paper, so I remember. That's my notes, and I'm out of notes now. So
please ask us some questions. Eric's doing terrible.